Trish Toby with WARC reporting to you live from Westchester, New York, where there appears to be some sort of mutant menace on the loose.
Fuck.
Hey, everybody. I'm Matt Allcamp.
And I'm Pat Reber.
And say it with us, Pete.
Welcome to Mutant Menace.
Mutant Menace.
Matt,
Yeah.
Your camera turned off, and when it turned back on, you were wearing the Winged Warrior cap.
I got the Winged Warrior cap.
A beautiful maroon Winged Warrior cap. Look at those wings. How's it feel on your head?
Bad. It's for child. It's for child.
I'm glad I didn't spend $60 on one then, because my head is huge.
I have it. Yeah, I have it on the widest setting, and it's still like it doesn't fit.
Beautiful, Matt. It looks so good on you. The brim is so big.
It doesn't. Yeah, I mean, you can be honest with the people. It's not a good hat. It's actually a really
you entirely. It looks uncomfortable, but you look so good in it.
It's a really bad hat is the problem. And I got it in the mail and I opened it and I was like, why the fuck did I buy this hat?
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Folks, I'm being bullied here.
Give it to me. All right. We'll make arrangements later to exchange the hat. For now, we got to get to Pat's email corner.
All right,
Matt,
Pat's email corner.
We got a handful here today. You ready? You ready to get started?
I am more than ready to get started.
First one comes from someone who is turning out to be a regular email. It's Daniel.
Daniel!
Welcome back, Daniel. He is still going through old episodes, working his way up to the present, and probably fairly slowly because they're long episodes. So he's still writing in, just kind of pointing out questions that he has along the way. We are going to get to most of these. Daniel, you sent us like 45 questions. We cannot possibly answer all of
No
these.
way.
We ask for so many things, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's is that 3 times Daniel's emailed so far?
That's 3, yeah. But before we try to pick a nickname for him,
it's got to happen organically, right? Like you can't just
exactly. Which brings me to his email.
Okay.
He says, "No email code name. Come on, I can come up with 3 right now." And then he does, and I'm not going to
presumptive much, presumptive much, Daniel.
Presumptive Daniel would be a terrible name. I don't want to have to say that every time.
No, that's too bad. That's really
Daniel,
bad.
And I should point out, he's got a lot of really insightful things to say in this list of questions and things to respond to from past episodes that we will get to in a future episode in our story so far. But I do want to point out that aside from suggesting his own nicknames, which again, folks, you should not do.
Not do.
He says, again, sorry for the shotgun blast of random comments, but I'm sure you guys will make some content out of it. We already are. Showed the guys and gals at Retro Wormhole and Rogue City Comics your 45th episode with the shout out, and they loved it.
Aw.
Also attached is them using your flyers for other purposes than a notepad.
That's sweet, but I was kind of attached to them using it as a notepad, and especially using it as a notepad as a fuck you to us. Like I was a little attached to that idea.
Well, thank you. Thank you again to Rogue City Comics.
Thanks,
it's
Rogue
clear
City.
that they have us prominently displayed as well as being used for scrap paper.
You're rad. You're a well-loved comic book shop. We did our research before we mailed out our mailers, and only mailed them out to what locals described as the best comic book shops in their area. So
yeah, and we'll do it again. Maybe.
But we'll have to do the second most beloved.
Yeah.
Well, the 6th through 10th most beloved.
And then Daniel signs off, I'll keep listening and I'll keep emailing. That is a promise/threat.
Threatening no. You can't force it.
Yeah. He is writing to us from the past. I think that is, I might have said it last episode too, but that's the strongest connection we have right now. But it's not going to be Daniel's of future past because he suggested that one. Let's keep moving. We have another one. Thank you, Daniel, for writing in. Keep it up. Up next
Keep it up, Daniel.
Up next is Ambitious Eric. We all love Ambitious Eric. He wrote in to say, hey, Pat, tell Matt my victory is ruined by time dilation. Please regard my previous email, the email in which he claimed victory over us for controlling the flow of emails. Please regard my previous email in the context in which it was delivered temporally, not in the context in which it will have been read. In other words, he lorded a sparse email inbox over us when we had a full email inbox.
All right. Oh, right. Okay.
When I sent it, you didn't have many emails, but the very next week you did. It makes me seem a fool. A fool! Now, if I were Ambitious Eric in this situation, what I would have said is that was also me.
Right.
The sparse email inbox, the full email inbox, he's just flexing his power.
Like I did the sparse email inbox by not emailing that week, and then I did the full email inbox by emailing that week. And taunting you for it being sparse.
Setting the trend here. Who's listening?
I guess you're a little more. I guess what we're learning is you're a little more manipulative and evil than Ambitious Eric.
Yeah, I guess I'm just built different. That's what they call that. He keeps going. He says, I can't feel blood in my body. Ridiculous.
Yeah. You can't.
He says, everyone can.
You don't. No, you can't. You could feel. Okay.
He says, the most difficult thing about following your podcast and brushing up on X-Men history is the character assassination of Professor X by Professor X. Growing up, he was heroic and inspirational, but his actual deeds in the comics for so long are so unethical, selfish, and often downright childish. Are you guys still able to enjoy Charles as a leader figure through all of this, or has it been completely shattered for you?
What do you think? How do you feel?
I think it was shattered, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Going into it, the Professor X I knew was the leader of the X-Men from like the cartoon and the movies, right? This benevolent, almost omniscient being who was kind enough to use all his power for the good of the world. But that's just for simplicity's sake, right? That's so that kids have something to watch and can see, because we can, I don't know, that's like a please listen to your teacher thing to do, right? They don't want kids mouthing off. The real Charles Xavier.
Yeah, the real one.
The real life one. Has been awful since day one. And at first it was like, oh, this seems just like a quirk of comic writing. They think that this is what a good person is supposed to be.
Right.
But it's consistent. I mean, we're just seeing it in the last few episodes. He's going back on his own word. He's doing things that he describes as unethical in the same issue. It feels like it has to be intentional.
Yeah. I I'm interested to see as we go forward. Is this something that is exclusive to old Xavier, right? Or is this something that is just going to be a trait that sticks with Xavier forever? I wonder what you think. What do you think? Like, do you think when we get to the 90s, when we get to the Xavier we're familiar with, do you think you're going to be like, there he is. There's the moral crusader, Professor X that I always knew and loved? Or are you worried you're going to get to the 90s and be like, fuck, he was this guy when I was a kid too?
I don't know. My guess is it'll be inconsistent, that we'll get stories that are a little more aimed at him just being like a smart and capable leader, or even like some all-powerful, all-knowing.
Right.
But then I also think we'll get people that like we'll get eras of the X-Men where the writer understands that he's actually fairly shitty.
Right. Because it's been consistent so far. Is I guess my thing is like through Stan Lee and Roy Thomas, and I guess not the other two because he was quote unquote dead during that time, but
Sure.
Len Wein and Chris Claremont, through all of them, he's been a piece of shit.
Exactly. Yeah. And like with objectively, or he's going back by his own definition. I guess that's subjective, but by his own definition of being a piece of shit.
I mean, it's as objective as it. No, I think it's I see what you're saying. That is objective. Like if you think about like if you frame it like Kant, right? Like if he's doing a moral imperative, he's setting the moral imperative and then breaking it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So we don't have to put a judgment on it. It is objectively shitty what he's doing. Yeah.
Thank you. I was right and I was wrong.
So to answer his question directly, I don't know. I don't know if it's been ruined as much as it's just been changed, and I have a feeling that he was this way all along. It's just I didn't fully understand the Xavier I was looking at.
You think if we went back and watched like the Fox X-Men movies or the 90s cartoon show, he would also be a real jerk?
My guess is that yes, about the cartoon show. I don't know about the movies.
All right. I guess we'll never know.
Oh, yeah, we won't. Yeah, because we only read the comics here.
That's right. Ambitious Eric does mention the Winged Warrior hat, which you are currently wearing on my head. I can't stop looking at it. It's so good.
It's pretty bad. It's really low quality too. I pulled a thread out of it and I was like, man, that thread has lived in this hat for 50 years until it found me. And
then he signs off, and I'm mentioning this for a reason, doesn't need a mascara, Ambitious Eric. Does that ring a bell to you? Because it's a joke that I've been thinking about since you said it like 3 weeks ago.
Doesn't need a mascara. No, I do not remember this joke.
So we were trying to look up a company for one of Pat's steals and deals, but that company name has since been stolen by a legal psychedelics company that sells mushroom gummies, and the type of mushroom is Amanita muscaria. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I just read it off a piece of paper, but you said, somebody get this guy a muscaria. I did not see it coming, and I've been thinking about it ever since.
Oh, boy.
Good job.
Thanks.
And then we have one more emailer.
Oh.
His name is Abe.
Oh.
And he is also binging through old episodes, and it seems like listening to some new... I'm not sure. Let me go through this chain of several emails that we got as he listens through.
Okay. And while you go through them... Wait, you're going to go through them silently in your head, I'm guessing. And in the meantime, I'll say hi to Abe. Yeah. Abe, hey, thanks for...
Okay.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening to us. We're glad to have you, Abe.
Yeah. Abe, I hope someday...
He's almost done.
You make it to episode 47. I've thought about each one of your emails. We can move on. No, Abe writes in, he says, I'm still binging through the episodes, season 1, episode 34. So not sure if you finalized the plan for what to do when the ads are missing. If you're still deciding, I vote for dishonesty. Just make one up and see if anyone figures it out.
That was the full... Oh my God. Pat, listeners' earmuffs. I love Abe's idea, and I say we do it.
Just once.
We don't tell anybody about it. And then, like, 30 episodes later, we say, hey, one of those... We offer a prize, and we say one of those Pat Steals and Deals was fake.
Well, I guess we'll think about it, and folks will never know if we actually did it. They'll just keep having to listen for years and years.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Abe goes on, he sent a second email in reply to this first email saying,
Okay.
also, I hope Matt is enjoying puppy sitting and has a CGP Grey style arc of eventually becoming the pup's second family.
Huh. When was I puppy sitting?
It sounds like it was around season 1, episode 34.
Okay. Well, there's like one set of puppies I puppy sit for, and I'm definitely second family to these friggin' pups.
Perfect.
They
All right.
absolutely love
Seems
me.
like you've gotten
And I've
all
known
of
them.
Abe's wishes.
I've known them since the very beginning. Since like adoption, not close to adoption day.
Since they were actual puppies instead of grown
Exactly.
dogs that you call puppies.
Exactly.
Another email from Abe, just responding to our prompts through the years. It says,
Machine
my
Gun
wife
Abe.
and I have sunk over 500 hours into Stardew.
Oh my God. Farmer Abe.
Pretty good. Abe,
500 hours together or 500 hours each?
Yeah, I have some questions here. It's a very concise email. 500 hours together or each. I imagine they play side by side sometimes and separately, but their game counter probably says 500 hours. But I don't know how that counts. Like, is that if two people are playing together, is that counting 2 hours per hour?
Man, I'm at like 1,200 over all my devices.
But I also want to know, has your marriage survived it? That was the whole point of that question. Rachel's fully engrossed in Stardew Valley. She's got a neat little farm.
And things aren't, it's causing some problems is what you're telling us.
No, things have been going well.
Oof.
We just don't talk about it. I don't tell her what I would do if I was running her farm. Another email from Abe says, subject line London, hey Pat, tell Matt, welcome back.
Thanks.
And then finally, welcome back, Matt.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
And then finally, there is only one sun is the subject line here. Hey Pat, tell Matt that there is only one sun. It's the one in our sky during the day. In episode 37, we see Storm enter the middle of the universe surrounded by numerous suns, but only one of the massive balls of thermonuclear explosions in the universe is the sun. Thought you should know so you can make fun of the writers more. Cheers, Abe.
I know this. And I lose this battle. I've lost this battle culturally, and I realize I've lost this battle culturally. I used to yell about this as far back as like high school. Like, wait, no. That's not
another planet's sun.
It's another planet's star. And it's the same with calling our system the solar system. That's our system. There are multiple star systems. We have the solar system because our sun is called Sol. S-O-L.
Okay, so we wouldn't find another solar system out in space.
No, we would find a star system, and it would be named we would find the Andromedan system. Andromedan.
Well, that's our name for it, Matt. What if they're the people that inhabit that planet called it
Pat.
The sun?
Oh, Pat.
What?
Yeah, Pat. Yeah, no, you're right.
Abe also, I should mention, when he first started listening, sent in his name as a name we could potentially read at the beginning of each episode.
We seem to be getting more and more of these.
I know, that's strange. Pete?
Because it was a joke we made almost a year ago.
And nobody did it. We said, just send us your name.
And now we have to figure out, do we start saying other names and then playing Pete's voice? Or do we always say Pete? And I'm starting to think we should say other names. Like, people are doing what we asked them to. Don't we want to reward that? Pete, it's your time to write in. Have you heard your name from us enough?
Pete, please let us know. People are vying for your title. We can set up some sort of tournament if we have to. But we need your help. We know you already left for the day. My goodness, what a Pat's email corner that was.
What a world we live in.
What a world. What a world.
A world with... Can you imagine we live in the timeline, in the reality, with both Abe and Daniel?
Whew.
Whew.
I wonder if any of the other timelines have given either of them a nickname.
Because it feels forced now. Like I felt myself thinking Farmer Abe. I felt myself thinking, and I think I even said it out loud. I feel myself thinking these names, and then I'm like, is that the name, or is that
me just striving to get them a name?
Is that me trying to get a name? Right.
Yeah. But the thing is, what if we have another Daniel or Abe write in, and we have to be able to distinguish them for our listeners? That's where I get concerned.
The truth is we have to have nicknames. So we're going to have to force it a little bit, but I don't want to force it so much that I don't want to shortchange the listeners, and I don't want to disrespect myself.
We already have 2 Michaels, right? Can you imagine the confusion it would cause?
If there were 6 Abes?
If there were 6 Abes, if each one of these emails we received from Abe was actually from a different Abe?
What if we did Abe 1, 2, 3, 4? What if we named this Abe 6, and then we can work backwards?
Abe 6? All right, write it down. Oh, Matt.
Oh, Patrick.
I have to ask.
Please.
Did you do anything X-Men related this week?
Oh! I had no idea you would ask that. You know what? I did.
Hard-hitting questions on this podcast.
Actually, this past Saturday, I did something. I went to an event that was really cool.
Oh, just like the X-Men do all the time.
Yeah, just like the X-Men do all the time, which is why I said it and what it means. So there's a festival, a new holiday.
Ooh.
Let me back up. I have a friend.
Ooh.
I have a friend named Cliff. He's Cliff Lewis. He's an author, and he does some storytelling. He's been on The Moth, and anyway, he's a cool dude. He and his wife Jen, years and years ago, decided that the time between December and say March is a fucking rough ass time, right? It's so cold. There's nothing going on. We're already past Christmas and Hanukkah. Valentine's Day sucks. We're so far from warmth and our next holiday, right?
Sure.
So they came up with a holiday that they would celebrate personally. It was called Kozendagen.
Okay.
And I get it. You hear that, it's like a little hipstery, right? Like, okay, fine.
It sounds rustic.
Well, it's the reason I think it sounds hipstery is because it's not real. Like, it's fake. Like, dagen is day in Norwegian, but Kozen means nothing, right? So it's like cozy day, but it's not in any language. So it's fake. But what they would do is it was a holiday season, much like Christmas is a holiday season, but then they would celebrate it on a specific day, and they would have warm soup, and they'd wrap up in blankets, and they'd watch a nice movie, and they would drink hot cocktails.
Hot milk.
And they recently, just a couple of years ago, maybe just last year, they decided to start opening it up to, I think 2 years ago, they opened it up to some really close friends. And last year, they started opening up to their wider friend group. It was between those 2 years that I met them, or I would have been at both. Last year, I went to their Kozendagen party, and it was really nice. Everybody brought their own soups, and there was hot chocolate, and there were hot toddies, and there was like hot apple cider that you could add rum to or not.
Yeah.
And they did a fire in their backyard. It's really nice. And this year, you can read about it in Lancaster Online. Cliff actually wrote a story.
Whoa.
If you,
It's in the news?
It's time for Lancaster County to launch a new winter holiday, Kozendagen, published on Lancaster Online on December 28th. And at this really cool venue in Lancaster called West Arts, that's like a bar and coffee shop and a rec center. You know this place?
I know Lancaster, Pennsylvania is a lot hipper than it was 10 to 20 years ago.
Yeah, fucking growing up Lancaster County when me and you were kids was like, oh, it's that boring town across
it's where the Chili's is in the middle of all those cow farms.
There's a lot of Amish people there. But now it's like a hip town. And so this was an old abandoned church converted into this cool, it's got like a music venue and then it's got a smaller just like event space. It rules.
Ah, that's so cool.
And they transformed this West Art into the Kozendagen Ski Lodge. And they opened it up to the public. And fuck, dude, there were so many people.
Oh, yeah, it was a success?
At Kozendagen. Yeah, they had a local caterer come in and like serve soup and hunks of bread with or without butter. They had sticky toffee pudding. They had their own. They had a bar that was serving hot cocktails, like their own. There was like an Earl Grey cocktail, like Earl Grey tea with gin.
Yeah.
There was hot toddies. There was like cozy music happening on the stage, and then they did like a folk music jam on the stage.
Oh man,
there were couches set up. It ruled.
That's awesome. It was so wild.
But I hope it becomes a tradition in Lancaster because it was awesome. And y'all, go check out Cliff's story on Kozendagen. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll throw a link in the show notes or something.
Yeah, sure. Google it.
It's a fun idea. And I kind
like some of our listeners do.
What's that?
Nothing.
Yeah. I was in love with it and I felt like I wanted to share it with y'all. So
how is this X-Men related?
Yeah, that's a good point. Pat, did you do anything X-Men related this week?
Loosely.
Unlike mine.
Yeah. Unlike yours. My wife and I have gotten really into puzzles, and within the last week, we've done 2 of them. A mushroom one, it had various types of mushrooms, then a donut one. It was really a lot of brightly colored donuts.
Sounds like you guys are very, very into puzzles. So how's this X-Men related?
Well, it's spatial geometry. Just like Scott Summers, I had to use my spatial geometry brain to identify shapes and put them in the right places.
Oh, Kozendagen is like when Scott and Madeline were in that ski lodge in Alaska.
Oh, right. It was ski lodge.
Okay.
There's our answer.
And you did a puzzle like Scott Summers' geometry brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Pat.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we
how
talking
are we
about
top that? Today.
I'm sorry for being so aggressive. That's not in the Kozendagen spirit.
Take a deep breath. Hold it in while I explain that today, of all days, Matt, we're going to be digging into Illyana's. Okay, breathe out. Illyana Rasputin's story.
Who?
Illyana Rasputin is the little sister of Peter Rasputin, better known as Colossus.
It's crazy because we met her way back in 1975.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just like in the background of Colossus's introduction. It was just kind of like to let us know, oh, he has a family.
And then at some point, she gets kidnapped. She ends up back with the X-Men and is still just a background figure. She's like almost like a toddler toddling around the mansion and that weird sea cave castle. Just kind of being there. There's a child here now, but the X-Men go about their business. Until
issue X-Men number 160.
160?
In which, for some reason, a Khazar villain coaxes her away from the X-Men and abducts her to Limbo.
Limbo, not the Catholic Limbo.
But it is kind of like hell. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
hell, but also not hell.
Not allowed to say hell.
You are allowed to say HE double hockey sticks, but it takes long. It takes up too much space in print.
You're allowed to say we're in Dante's Inferno.
What happened in X-Men 160, Pat?
So she was coaxed into this interdimensional space, Limbo, where the rules of time and space don't apply.
Right.
The X-Men had a little adventure. There were some fucked up little freaks down there, including Belasco, sort of like a demon king seeming guy.
Yeah.
Although we learn, I think, over the course of that he's not actually like a holy being of any sort.
Right. He's like an evil sorcerer who was banished to Limbo by like the gods he was trying to summon, which I think fucking happens in a Kazar issue. Again, this is just a two-big Kazar villain. Like, I'm not anti-Belasco as a villain, but it is fucking wild that he's just a Kazar villain.
It is. I will never read a Kazar comic. So if Belasco wants to make his way over to the X-Men, that's fine. If he wants to make his way into a mini series that revolves around the X-Men, that's fine. I'm not going to go read Kazar number 29, which is what we need to fully understand the context of this story.
I legitimately might.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me about it.
Okay.
Belasco is surrounded by his servants, which include Im, a big purple demon guy that is actually, or was originally created as a spoofy takeoff of Dave Cockrum's characters.
No, Dave Sim. Dave Sim's character, Cerebus.
Right. He also has a weird perverted Nightcrawler that works for him. Kurt.
He like killed all the X-Men except for the ones that he could corrupt, and so like there's a pervert Nightcrawler, but Wolverine and Colossus are dead. And
Wolverine
Storm,
and Colossus, yeah.
We don't know anything about what happened with Shadowcat, but Storm is like
who?
I think I said Sprite.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I must have misheard.
So Sprite, we have no idea what happened to her, but Storm, we know a little bit about her. We know that she does magic and that she has some connection to Belasco.
The version of Storm, which is not the version from our real Earth, it's some other place where they said it wasn't an alternate universe.
No, it was just the timelines diverged around Illyana's rescue, and we'll find out a little bit more about that in this episode.
They go through all this. They manage to escape, the X-Men do, but as they're pulling Illyana through their escape portal, Kitty loses grip of her hand for only a few seconds, finds it again, pulls her through, and suddenly Illyana has aged to 14. I think she was 6 or 7 when she left.
13.
13.
She turned,
right.
It's been a year since that happened. So she is now 14.
Mind-blowing stuff.
Yeah, and since then, she's just kind of been a background character. She appeared in Giant Size X-Men number 1 in 1975. She came back in X-Men 145 in 1981 when Arcade kidnapped. Can you believe all this happened just because Arcade fucking kidnapped her?
Oh, right. That's what it was. It was Arcade's introduction, right?
Yeah, and he kidnaps one person who's like close to each X-Man, and he kidnaps Illyana Rasputin, and then she just stays with the X-Men forever, and then loses 7 years of her life. Anyway, then this happens in X-Men 160 in 1982, so a little more than a year after that.
I believe that's Mutant Menace episode 36.
She becomes kind of like Kitty Pryde's pal. Now that she is about Kitty Pryde's age, they become roommates at the mansion and kind of best friends.
Yeah.
But as far as anybody knows, Illyana doesn't have any mutant powers. She seems traumatized by what happened to her in Limbo.
Right. She doesn't want to talk about it.
She won't talk about it, and Professor X can't read her mind anymore. And since then, she's appeared in just a handful of issues, maybe like a dozen issues, I'd say, just kind of in the background of shit. It's kind of like, oh, it's Kitty Pryde's birthday, and she's showing Illyana around the mansion before she has a surprise party, or Kitty Pryde is angry at somebody, so she runs to her room and complains to Illyana. It's like Illyana is this.
She was worried about Colossus last episode, right? To be when he was hurt. And they keep dropping these little hints that there's something going on here. We're gonna dig into whatever this is.
Just be patient.
Yeah. Of course, that was more than a year ago in comics.
And she doesn't take the center stage almost ever in this time. I think there's like 2 or 3 scenes during Paul Smith's run where she has a conversation with Xavier, and that's it. But what are we reading today, Pat?
Today, Matt, we're reading the Marvel miniseries Magik, Storm and Illyana.
Whoa.
This is a 4-issue run that covers Illyana's time in Limbo. That 7 years that passed in a few seconds.
So if Wolverine was the first miniseries, or second maybe, at Marvel?
Second, I believe.
What is this, like the 3rd or 4th? Like, so you are a Marvel reader, and miniseries are brand new to you.
Yeah.
And suddenly there's one completely revolving around this little girl in the background of the X-Men?
Yeah. And so many of them have been, between this and the graphic novel run, so many of them have been based around mutants too.
That's so wild.
That's awesome. Well, why don't we get into it, Matt? You want me to kick us off with Magik #1, Little Girl Lost?
Yeah, I do. I do want that.
Good. We'll start at the beginning. Chris Claremont writer, John Buscema layouts, Tom Palmer finisher, Tom Warzakowski letterer, Glynis Ween colorist, Louise Jones editor, and Dim Du editor-in-chief.
Okay.
It sounded better in my head. Release date August 30th, 1983. Cover date December 1983. Our narrator, Illyana Rasputin, starts her story by reminding us of where she's been. She's the sister of Colossus, Peter Nikolievna Rasputin. She left Siberia a couple years ago at age 6. She is now 14. She spent those missing 7-ish years in hell. She calls it hell here. Yeah. Consort to a demon. She was lured there by the demon Lord Belasco, saved by the X-Men and a time-displaced magical version of Storm, like we just mentioned. As they teleported home, Belasco grabbed her hand, and when Kitty Pryde found it again and pulled her back out, around 7 years had passed for Illyana. We cut to that moment in Limbo as Belasco teleports away and lays 6-year-old Illyana on a table. The old magical version of Storm follows him and demands he let Illyana go. He tells her she will be the instrument through which his masters, the Elder Gods, will take control of the world. He also explains that Aurora had once been his apprentice and that he had once corrupted Kitty Pryde in a similar way, as he pulls Illyana's soul from her body. Hovering in front of Belasco, she ages into a grown woman and turns ever so slightly demonic before erupting in flames and turning into a floating green ball of energy.
Fucking hate when that happens.
Belasco grabs the ball and crushes it into a little red marble, the first of 5 bloodstones, and places it in a golden amulet at the point of a pentagram. Remember all this? She had an amulet with bloodstones.
Oh, yeah. She came
some
back.
Destiny gets fulfilled when all 5 points of the pentagram have a bloodstone on it.
She came back from Limbo with that, and then we learned about that in just like one panel where it cut back to Belasco at the end of X-Men 160.
Yeah. And she went in with 0 bloodstones. She came out after a few seconds with 3.
She went in with no amulet.
Once placed, the bloodstones can never be removed. And once all 5 are in place, the Elder Gods will be able to invade this dimension.
Pat.
The real Earth dimension, not Limbo.
Well, I think it's both, right? Like, I think it's like the Elder Gods are on a completely different plane than where Limbo and Earth are, but
yeah.
Pat,
Yes.
did you fucking notice that Belasco only has one arm?
What? What?
Okay,
No.
so we read that whole last, like, we read X-Men 160, and now I don't feel so stupid, because I never realized Belasco only has one arm. And it took
I don't know that I believe you.
It took me until, like, issue 2, I think. Because I was looking, like we do, I was looking for things to make fun of. And I was like, why does he never pull the cape off his arm? And then I was like, oh, wait, he doesn't have an arm.
My God. Well, he's good on him for making it so subtle.
He carries it well.
But one thing I wanted to point out here. So we get all this as Illyana is standing on like the edge of a cliff somewhere on the mansion grounds, looking over a sunset and contemplating. Glynis Wein does this all the time, but wanted to give her credit. Colors such a beautiful sunset, not just because of she usually picks like a solid color for the sky, and here it's a very nice, calming sort of sunset pink.
Right.
It also affects the coloring of everything else in the scene. So we have this long scene where everything's tinted pink, but still has its own color. It's just like she knows how to create such a peaceful color palette.
Yeah, she does a thing where there's the pink tint all over everything, but certain sides, the sides that are facing the sun, even though there's no yellow in the sky, they have this yellowy white glow on them. So Illyana's face, as she's facing the sun, the broad side of the mansion have this like yellow glow. Yeah, it's really effective.
She's so good at this.
Yeah.
Back to Limbo, Storm tries to stop Belasco from corrupting Illyana. But
doing whatever he's doing.
Whatever
it's kind of like
exactly.
unclear.
But she's too old and too weak. It appears as if her plight is useless when suddenly a shuriken slashes across Belasco's face.
Oh no!
He turns to see a woman in a weird Batwoman if she were a burlesque dancer kind of suit with flowing brown hair and a sword named Cat.
The sword's name is Cat?
No, the woman. I don't know what the sword's name is.
Well, he yells Cat. It could be talking to the sword. Oh no, Cat's here! And that woman is holding it!
Cat charges Belasco, but he vanishes just as her sword is about to make contact. Storm gently lifts a sleeping Illyana from her stone slab and teleports all three of them back to her little magical oasis.
Okay. Patrick?
Yeah.
How would you describe Cat's costume? I said Batwoman if she were a burlesque dancer, but I don't think it captures it. Like, describe this costume so people could picture it.
So imagine like a wrestling singlet, right? Okay. Like a leotard, but with sleeves, with long sleeves.
Yeah, yes.
And it's dark
gloves.
blue.
Yeah.
And gloves, yeah. You with me so far? Now, the sides of that, the parts that run up like your kidney area, your rib cage.
Yeah.
Cut those out all the way up to your armpits. So you have just enough to keep the sleeves on because this thing has sleeves.
and your boobs in. Like enough to keep your sleeves on and your boobs in.
Yeah. And then cut it in really sharp so you can also see like the sides of your butt, so you can see the jut of your hips. Just making sure you're showing as much as from the side. It looks like you're only wearing a sleeve.
If you look at this from the side, you're like, oh, that's a nude woman. Oh, wait. Okay, no.
Yeah.
Describe her mask.
I saw it as Huntress from the Bat family.
Okay, yeah.
Sort of like a flat, like slightly curved, but a two-dimensional mask. It's not like a cowl that goes over her head.
No.
It's got 3 sharp spikes. It's very wide, and 3 sharp spikes sticking up from the head of it.
And then like 2 sharp spikes down on either side of the face.
Yes, to cover her cheeks.
Just like a flattened, like a big flattened batarang wrapped halfway around her face. Yeah.
There you go. And this is clearly Kitty Pryde.
Yeah, clearly 100% Kitty Pryde. You can tell immediately.
Still doing the costume thing.
She never decides on a costume. Sure. This is what she decides on after all her choices. She's got shuriken on her arm too. They look like like kind of like Star Spangled Kid from fucking JSA.
Yeah.
And then those big fucking golden age superhero boots with the flaps.
Yes, yeah, big old flappy boots. She's a master of the blade.
She's got a sword and she's good with it.
So
And
Cat,
she's got a big ol' ass.
Cat, who's very clearly Kitty Pryde. We're gonna call her Cat throughout this because that's her name in this comic. Has mixed feelings towards Illyana, half blaming her for what happened to this version of herself and the X-Men. In their alternate timeline, Illyana was rescued, but the X-Men were left to die or become corrupted by BELASCO.
Wait. Who rescued Illyana then?
I have to imagine they like pushed her up through the portal.
It wasn't like Superman. It wasn't like the X-Men came down to rescue Illyana and they fucking failed. And then Superman comes in and is like, I've got you, little girl. And then flies back out and they're like, fuck, what? What about me?
What about us?
I only have 2 hands. Or it's not like they were all holding each other's hands when BELASCO pulls Wolverine, but he's holding on to Storm's hand, so she gets pulled through, and she's holding on to Colossus' hand. So everybody but Illyana gets pulled through, and Illyana's reaching and can't find them.
I imagine they're all running from BELASCO and the portal's ahead of them, but BELASCO's too fast for them. So
and remember,
Colossus probably fastballs Illyana in through the portal, throws her so she makes it, and the rest of them just get caught.
Well, but remember, Magical Storm made the portal.
Right.
So, and she didn't exist yet in that timeline.
Oh, you're
so
right.
Who made the portal?
Shit.
Patrick. It's fucking Superman.
Anyway, this version is technically the same Illyana, but the timeline's forked around her rescue. She and Storm argue. Storm wants to sever the bond between the girl and BELASCO, but Cat wants to just straight up kill her.
Fuck.
Aurora tells her plan to Illyana, who wasn't really asleep, and speaks of eventually sending her home. Illyana gets excited and asks if she and Kitty will be coming, causing a violent reaction in Cat and Storm to explain that this is where they belong now.
I think it's interesting to note here, I hadn't thought about it until just now. This is a Kitty Pryde who like told bedtime stories to Illyana or whatever, but never bonded with her in the way that Kitty Pryde bonded with teenage Illyana.
Right.
I don't know that would have affected things, but it's worth keeping in mind, right? Like we're supposed to just see Cat as like a ruthless badass, a Wolverine type.
Yeah.
But
because she's lived a lifetime down here and has had to survive.
But it is worth thinking about. Would she have been like just kill her if she had
had the relationship that the Kitty we know?
If Illyana was her bunkie, for example.
Not what that word means. Storm begins trying to sever the bond between BELASCO and Illyana by entering her soul or mind, or something like that.
Something, yeah.
Where she finds a grown-up evil version of Illyana riding a horse and carrying a magical living whip.
Ah, this is cooler. Be that one.
Turns out the transformation of a piece of Illyana's soul into evil is so complete that Storm cannot undo it. Evil Illyana beats her ass in a wizard battle and reveals Storm's own evil side, but Storm whips out her mutant powers to repel the girl and zap herself back to reality. Talking with Cat while skinny dipping.
Yeah.
It's
Storm, so yeah.
It's Storm. She's got to get nude.
I've gotta be nude. This was stressful. I must get nude now.
She reveals that she has no more mutant powers in her corporeal form, and also that she can't break the bond. Her new plan is to train Illyana in sorcery to strengthen her and give her a chance to overcome Belasco's corruption. Kat is pissed. She still wants to kill Illyana, and she thinks that Storm may be doing this from the influence of her own corrupted soul.
Jesus.
What? She also pulls off her Batwoman mask and gloves to show that she has claws and cat eyes now.
Okay.
She vows that she'll kill both Storm and Illyana before she allows them to harm anyone, and leaps away like a cat.
She says, like, before you harm anyone, especially not anybody I care about, like, who do you care about? Who's left that you care about besides the two people you just said you'd kill?
Anyone that's not here that you ever knew is dead.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, and you know what? This version doesn't know that her parents got divorced.
She's going to be so upset.
If she were to go back to Earth, she'd be like, what the fuck?
And all of this and...
The next day, Aurora tells a few of these things to Illyana that she and Kat were discussing, and shows her a giant tree that she grew in her garden. The first thing she created when she left Belasco was an acorn, which grew into this massive tree over time. The two then meditate, moving into the astral plane where they can see the life force in each plant. Illyana sees that some flowers are pure black, to which Aurora tells her that this is the corruption of Limbo. Aurora turns them back to flowers, and Illyana gets excited about changing things when Storm flips out and grabs her arm and calls her stupid.
Jesus Christ, Storm.
Illyana is like, Belasco never hurt me or called me names, but Storm explains that it is evil to try and full-on change nature rather than gently guide it with magic. She then shows Illyana their meditating bodies, each with black, circles in their chests. Illyana calls them crystals, but they don't look like that. It's not easy to explain. It's like
There's
like a starburst.
Yeah, it's like these rings of black that are like pixelated, like it was drawn in like paint in like Windows 3.1 when it was like monochrome.
Yeah.
When it was just like black and
like
white.
16
Pre
bits.
3.1, right? Like Windows 1.
Aurora explains that this is Belasco's influence corrupting them from the inside.
I fucking hate how Aurora's like, don't ever change anything. Just
I think
gently change things.
I think
magic is about just gently changing things, and you said change things.
I think there's a different, it's not said this way, it's just sort of what I'm assuming is the same lesson that Xavier teaches all the time of like, don't use your powers just to dick around. Use them for a cause or save them and learn to hone them. It's about control.
Yeah, I mean, I think they are implying there's a very strict difference between the two ideas. It's still just like the way it's expressed here is we don't change things.
For someone that just called her mentee stupid, she doesn't provide a lot of helpful feedback. They awaken back in the garden where they were, but Illyana is a year older. Apparently a full year had passed while they did whatever that was. As the two walk off to eat, the plant that Aurora had fixed withers away.
They've been fucking sitting there for a whole year?
Yeah. Which, it's how she, it's an easy way to explain that she knows magic now. That was actually a full year of education.
Yeah. But, yeah, I guess, but she only kind of knows magic at this point. And here's why I think Chris Claremont's a coward. What if they had come back and been like, oh God, I'm covered in piss and shit. Yeah, it's been a year. Your body's been here for a full year.
I heard if you're good enough at meditating, you just don't have to.
You just recycle all the material in your body. Oh, God! Did it not rain down here?
That night, as they sleep, Aurora feels an intruder enter her garden. When she goes out to look, a bolo wraps around her neck and knocks her from her balcony into her pool. Kat dives in to rescue her and apologizes.
Earlier, hold on 1 second. Earlier, Kat said when Storm was like, hey, do you want to join me for a dip? She said, cats don't like the water. And now she dives right the fuck in?
Well, she almost drowned Storm.
Plot hole.
Kat dives in to rescue her and apologizes for doing this to her in the first place. She makes her way to Illyana and tells her that Storm's plan is to keep her here as her apprentice forever, as Storm was once apprenticed to BELASCO. If she follows Kat, however, she'll get to go home. Illyana chooses Kat as BELASCO watches through a magical pool. All is going according to his plans. To be continued.
Whoa.
Love a magical pool.
A scrying pool.
It's just some gross puddle of water on the ground.
That you kind of see some people in.
Yeah, I can see a face in here.
BELASCO, that's just some sticks and leaves.
One quote that I wanted to pull out of this comic, and I think it was Storm that said it when she was trying to guide Illyana through a meditation. She says, "Feel the beat of your heart, the blood coursing through your body." Illyana can feel her blood. So can Storm
feel her blood. You can't feel your blood. Like, okay, you can feel
her body.
You can feel your heartbeat, which implies, yes, you can also feel pulses. But like, that's more like that's not like you're not like feeling just blood in your arm. Like,
that's your blood.
If you look down at your arm, right, and you see your vein, and you're like, oh, there's blood in there. Try and feel it for a second. Try and be like, oh, what does it feel like?
Can you not?
You can't. You can't. No one can.
Matt, there's no time for this now. We got to get to magic number 2.
You mean cold iron, hot blood? All right. You walked me right into this one. Cold iron, hot blood. Writer Chris Claremont, penciler John Buscema, finisher Tom Palmer, Glynis Wein is the colorist, Tom Orzechowski's the letterer, Louise Jones is the editor, and Jem Shiner is the editor-in-chief. Release date, October 4th, 1983. Cover date, January 1984. We pick up right where we left off a year into Illyana's time in Limbo, with Kat leading her through the caves on a quest to return her to regular Earth. Kat stands on a field full of stepping discs, sword drawn toe-to-toe with a demon, while Illyana cowers in the corner. Kat is swiftly knocked out.
Bonk.
Illyana starts to run in fear, but Kat quickly regains consciousness and tells her to stand her ground and not to step on any of the light discs littering the floor. On her second effort, Kat dispatches the demon, but just as Illyana lets her guard down, another grotesque demon pops up behind her and tries to grab her. She stumbles backwards into a light disc as she screams for Kat's help.
Ooh.
Illyana finds herself alone in the dark until light discs start appearing along the floor and walls of this new space, illuminating it a bit. And as the additional light reveals Colossus's torn apart metal carcass pinned to the wall. Remember that thing?
Yeah.
Laughter starts to fill the cavern. She turns to see Sim, Belasco's super strong purple demon servant, lighting a cigar and admiring what he did to this alternate Colossus when he opposed Belasco.
It's so fucked up. We never get used to that image of Colossus with his torso ripped open,
just torn open
to the wall.
He's in metal form. It's almost like he was in human form. Sim ripped his guts out and he quickly turned to metal form to try and survive.
Yeah.
is how it looks.
Ugh. It's heartbreaking.
Illyana dashes for one of the light discs, and Sim allows her to get only a step away before grabbing her by the hair, lifting her off the ground by her hair, and threatening to start ripping off limbs if she doesn't comply. Before he can finish the sentence, though, Cat sneaks in and stabs him right in the tail, phasing through his instinctive counterattack and pulling Illyana through a portal. It is like Saturday morning cartoon kind of like, yipes!
He goes, "Arr!"
They emerge in a corrupted Savage Land, a space that Belasco created in Limbo to mirror the Savage Land, and then systematically corrupted and destroyed as part of some weird vendetta he has against Khazar.
Don't care. Not reading it.
What a fucking weird thing to do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
it's like if I got fired from my job and I went home and made a diorama of my workplace just to stomp on it.
That's exactly what it is. And he's essentially just like, it looks water deprived. He let the years ravage it without the proper resources.
Yeah.
It's so petty. Nobody from the Savage Land is going to see this.
Took so long that he's probably not even angry by the time. By the time. Cat finds a two-headed saber-toothed tiger roaming the mountains, draws her knife, and wrestles it into submission before fatally stabbing it.
Whoa. She
tears off her mask and roars in triumph, revealing her feline side to a terrified but awed Illyana. They eat the tiger meat, and Cat makes Illyana a nice leotard out of the coat.
She's wearing like a dress, just a young girl's dress, and Kitty's like, you need clothing more appropriate for this situation, and then just gives her a leotard made out of tiger skin.
She looks like a cartoon character, and I can't remember who. You know how there's sometimes there's sometimes these cartoon character little kids, right? Who they have human arms and legs, but their torso is just some other color because it's their clothes.
Sure, yeah.
Man, I'm not pulling it.
I'm not pulling it either. I'm trying to follow you here, Matt. mutantmenacepod@gmail.com if you have any idea what Matt's talking about. Please,
if you have any, please. We're so desperate here. Also, it's like they haven't had time to dry that pelt. It's gotta be still gooey.
Oh yeah, she hasn't had time to properly turn it into a hide.
No, not at all. Before they rest for the night, Kat tells Illyana that, despite Aurora's concerns, Illyana's best hope is to learn to fight her way out of Limbo. Training starts tomorrow. The next morning, Kat points to a mountain range on the horizon and tells Illyana that is their destination before taking off in that direction. Illyana tries to keep up with her, Kat taunting or threatening to leave her every time she requests a break. She like falls over a couple times. This is a trope that always like bugs me.
Yeah.
In stories when it's like, oh, I've run so much that I've collapsed. I can't go any further.
Yeah, physically, my body is done.
I am incapable of moving any further. And then the other person's like, well, then I guess I'll just leave you behind. And then they get up and keep running, I guess.
Find the will to keep moving.
How?
I can imagine. So we get obviously a montage through a couple of panels here, but in one of those panels, Illyana would have to stay back and face one of those creatures. Right? There's like some weird pink lizard that's stalking them. She could conceivably get an adrenaline rush from that and get that energy.
But you'd collapse again because
it wouldn't last that long.
Your muscles don't have an infinite like capacity for this. You have
a finite amount of energy that your willpower can only have so much influence on.
It's exactly. They run until sunset. Illyana exhausted but seething with rage. Cat tosses a sword at her feet, but Illyana's too tired to fight until Cat lunges at her with a knife.
Ooh.
Illyana does her best, but is soundly defeated, the first of many lessons she's about to learn. They'll try again tomorrow. There's a running theme in this comic of cuts on the cheek.
Yes. Yeah.
And this is the first of 3, I believe. Just then, Aurora appears to them in astral form, demanding Cat stop this madness. She's putting both of their souls and the fate of the real world in danger. Steel is no match for BELASCO's magic, and the path of violence will only further corrupt Illyana. Cat's having none of it, though, and Aurora will not stop her. It would be a fight to the death with someone they love, making neither of them any better than BELASCO.
Ooh.
Illyana continues to travel and train with Cat as time passes by unnaturally until she's mastered the blade and they've reached the mountain that BELASCO's citadel resides on. I think it's been 1 to 2 years here.
Yeah, so we open the issue at 1 year. They travel a far distance and train her in that time as well. So we get a knife fighting training montage. You have to imagine that with the way the time works here, it's been about another year.
I kind of thought she had 1 year in the meditation and then 2 years with Cat before she gets to BELASCO.
2 years?
I think so.
I thought the opposite, that it's a very short amount of time, but but simultaneously a very long amount of time. That's how the space works, Matt.
But you can track its actual time by Illyana's age, though, right?
Maybe, but it's
her body was under
the same as years.
Her body was under the tree for a full year, year of her life.
A year passed while she was sitting under the tree for a relatively short time.
I thought it was the exact opposite. A relatively long amount of time has passed, but she perceives it as a short amount of time. Because that's how her body becomes a year older.
You are conceiving of time passing in a way that doesn't work in this universe. That's not how time goes from one moment to the next.
I guess what I'm saying is that I think you're right in that time is fucked up in Limbo, but I think you're wrong in that, in how people perceive it. But I think you're wrong in that Illyana's body lives a full 7 years in Limbo.
Yes.
Meaning her body was under the tree for a full year, even if her mind only perceived fucking 5 minutes or whatever. And even though her mind perceived them running for a couple days, they actually ran for about 2 years.
I think you're so close, Matt, but it's not about the perception of time. It's the idea that time passes in a different way. So it's at the same time, it is a day and it is 1 year. It's a concept they don't explore enough, but that is the message that they're trying to hammer into us, that time, just the way you think of time passing, isn't the way that time passes here.
I guess where I rub up against that is if she was only in Limbo for what feels to her like a couple weeks, then what's the big fucking deal, right?
Well, she's lived a lifetime over the course of 7 years.
This is my point. Yeah, I think over those 7 years, she by the time she sees her friends again, by the time she sees Colossus, Peter again, she's like, oh my god, it has been 7 years since I've seen this man. I feel when I last saw him isn't okay, body's 7 years older and it feels like it was a couple weeks ago. It was I saw him 7 years ago. The way that you had seen him for 7 years, you'd be like, holy shit, it's been so long.
Yes. That agrees with my point more than it is yours.
How? So she's living a full 7 years.
She's living a full 30 years. And she recognizes that as a full 7 years, even though to her it felt like a few weeks.
So the first year with Aurora has been 5 minutes.
Or a day.
Whatever. But her run with Cat is 10 years, but was really only a year. So you're saying that
some a day it's not 10 years into.
But we're talking about how she perceives it.
You have to imagine she sees something take weekends spending a year at a time. So if you're first time, then what do you think?
Well, however long it takes, they get to the castle and they phase through the wall. Illyana feels a tug, a sense of belonging. She felt similarly in Aurora's oasis, only inverted. That was a sanctum of beauty and life, while this is the heart of the Limbo's desolation, and she's bound to both. As she reflects on the fate of the X-Men she's met here, distorted pervert Nightcrawler steps out from the shadows and attacks Cat, announcing himself as the loyal protector of his master's home.
This is my least favorite X-Men villain. Is pervert Nightcrawler.
It's just Nightcrawler, but he's a pervert.
Perv Kurt.
Illyana tosses a dagger at him, but he only teleports out of the way before tossing her directly into Cat with his tail. Toying with them, he challenges Cat to a sword fight, gripping one sword in each hand and a third in his tail. But Cat phases through the floor, leaving Illyana to fend for herself. As he closes in on her, playfully bamfing around to prove she's outmatched, Cat sneaks up behind him and phases his leg into the fucking floor before making it tangible again.
Jesus Christ.
He screams out in pain as his leg shatters as it merges with the stone until Cat stabs him through the fucking heart.
Ugh.
Kurt Rupert
This was...
dead.
This hurt to watch. We've talked about this, right? And we're not the first ones to talk about the idea. She's even mentioned that if she unphases in the middle of the wall, it would be extremely painful. But we haven't actually seen this executed. This is sick.
Yeah.
He is screaming in pain.
Yeah. Yeah. Because our Kitty Pryde would never fucking do this, right?
Yeah.
It's only a Kitty Pryde that has lived her entire fucking life in Limbo that would use her powers in this way.
She stabs him in the back, like right through the heart, but it's more to end his screaming than anything. It's cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
Finally, they arrive at Belasco's altar, where the dimensional walls are thinnest between Limbo and real Earth. In a beautiful psychedelic view panels, Kat and Illyana phase through the dimensional barrier as Kat explains her choice to never return. Despite being able to do this, she'd either return to her Earth, where the X-Men are all dead, or return to an Earth where they're all still alive, including her younger self and her love Peter, who gave his life to save hers.
Damn.
All the while, Illyana is conflicted. She's eager to return home, yet feels like she's leaving a home. She's torn between two worlds. We see the X-Men gathered around the portal on regular Earth, returning to the scene where Kitty finds Illyana's hand and pulls her back through, or do we? Oh, no! Suddenly, Kitty transforms into Belasco, and the illusion collapses around them. They're in Belasco's throne room, and this was all part of his plan to have her returned here.
So we get a shot of this scene where Kitty grabs Illyana's hand and starts pulling her out of the portal, a la X-Men number 160. Wolverine is shirtless.
Oh,
is there a reason?
Okay.
Him to be shirtless here?
So I have gone back.
Okay.
So in Magik issue number 1, right?
Okay.
When they show the scene,
uh-huh,
Wolverine's got a shirt on.
Yeah.
In this issue, Magik number 2, when they show this scene again, Wolverine is shirtless.
Fully shirtless. You can see his nipple. They draw his nipples.
And his face looks all fucked up. He looks like the lower half of his face looks like Dick Van Dyke.
Sure. Yeah.
And
then we see the scene again. I don't think it's spoiling anything because this is ultimately what has to happen. We see it again in issue 4.
And he's got a shirt on again. So it leaves you thinking the weird thing here is shirtless Wolverine.
Yes, and that this is Belasco's choice.
Does it? He's like,
because this is the illusion
Wolverine's
that he's
shirt
created.
off. All right. How does it change your perception of all this if you find out that in the real version, Wolverine is shirtless?
Oh my God. Then everything else is an illusion.
It would be funny if that's how you could tell the difference. It's like, wait, Wolverine isn't shirtless, and the lower half of his face doesn't look like Dick Van Dyke.
That's amazing that they repeat this scene 3 times and only once do they remember that he was shirtless in the.
Well, there's 3 different pencilers in this fucking miniseries. So it's like John Buscema draws the first one, and then he's like, fuck, I fucked up. So in the second one, he draws him shirtless, and then later it's Sal Buscema, I think.
Sal Buscema, yeah.
And he's like. Then he's like, I don't want to draw those nipples.
Wolverine, he wears a shirt.
Looking over Evil Kurt's dead body, Belasco laments the loss of a good servant and decides that Kat will replace him. She charges at him with her sword, but Belasco commands her to stop and hand over her weapon. And she does. She clearly doesn't understand how, but Belasco still has a hold over her and ends her rebellious streak by removing her humanity. He turns her into an actual cat. Well, a cat lady, like,
Yeah, yeah.
but more cat than lady at this point. Cat becomes completely servile, purring as Belasco scratches her head. It sucks.
It is. It's fetish content.
It looks so bad.
She's got breasts still.
And still has like human hair on her head, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But she's also got a tail.
Ugh. And she's still wearing that fucking outfit.
Yeah, yeah.
Illyana watches on, again, both terrified and awed by what she sees. Would Belasco do the same to her? Would she like it? Can she also use magic to control the world around her to become so powerful despite Aurora's warnings? She knows it would be evil, but she doesn't care. She willingly approaches Belasco and accepts a gift from him, a magic blade that he's almost daring her to stab him with. She considers it, but she uses to instead cut herself. Blood trickles down her arm and onto her amulet, falling into place at one of the points of the pentagram, forming a new bloodstone.
No.
Belasco welcomes her home, and as Illyana smiles, her eyes shift into the same demonic shape we saw when Storm was in her head. Aurora watches all this on a crystal ball, damning Cat for what she's done. Now she'll have to kill Illyana. To be continued. Damn.
After this issue, I am engaged.
Yeah.
This is where it really hit me. Like the first issue was good in just sort of world building.
Mm-hmm.
This one is telling us the story. It's like dumping us all the way in.
Yeah.
And every moment of it, I was engaged. A lot happens.
I think some of the magical stuff that we see in comic books, I don't always love, because I feel like there can be a sort of lazy writing where it's sort of like, and when we push through the mindscape into the heart of the soul, and love is actually the key which breaks open and every now and then that stuff can be meaningful, but way more often in most fiction, it's just poetic nonsense.
Yeah.
And this story has a little bit of both, I think.
I agree, but it's separating itself from like the mystical stories of the Marvel universe and trying to create, like, it's telling a fantasy story. It says, We're not doing science fiction. We're not doing just like pulp comics. We're going to tell a fantasy tale that involves one of the or I guess a handful of the X-Men.
Right.
But the way that I look at it, like if I were going to the comic book shop every week, every couple of weeks, and just picking up the monthlies as I go, I would pick up the first issue of this on a whim. Maybe I like the X-Men. I like Storm. I want to see what's going on. I read through the first issue and I would say, like, all right, if it's around, I'll pick up the second and see what happens next. After this second issue, I am waiting for the third issue to come out.
Right.
And when that issue came out, Matt, it was called Magic number 3, Soul Quest.
Oh, okay.
Chris Claremont writer, Ron Frenz penciler, Tom Palmer finisher, Tom Warzakowski letterer, Glynis Wein colorist, Louise Jones editor, Jim Shooter editor-in-chief.
I think Ron Frenz has been doing the covers so far.
Nice.
So
it's also interesting. Weapon Jason helped clarify for us last episode that when we see somebody listed as a finisher, a lot of times they did the legwork here, that the penciler or layouts or whatever they get called here is actually the one that goes through and just kind of lays the story out. They storyboard it. But Tom Palmer has been our consistent finisher here.
Right.
So he might be more appropriate for like the detail of all of this, at least. And Glynis Wein, she's still crushing it.
Yeah, she's
color.
great.
Release date November 1st, 1983. Cover date February 1984.
Ooh.
Okay, some shit has changed. Illyana is now apprenticed to Belasco and fucking loving it. She's evil, she loves Belasco on some deep, creepy, Stockholmy level, and she's torturing a rat that she raised since birth and now is transforming into a demon named SQUIDGE, who immediately attacks her. SQUIDGE is here.
Oh, it's my favorite one, SQUIDGE.
When I saw this, actually, I thought this is how we met Lockheed. This is how she was creating, because it's just her like changing a life into different forms. And I thought this was like a precursor to, but it's not.
And the two are, the X-Men 160 is right near the Brood Saga, right? Yeah, you're right. The Brood Saga starts, then there's the vampire, and then there's the magic story, and then the real Brood Saga kicks in.
Right. Yeah.
There's like the precursor to the Brood Saga, kind of. So she could, that's interesting. That's an interesting thought, I guess. Yeah.
I was super psyched until the SQUIDGE got pushed aside after the first 2 pages of this issue. But she creates a demon named SQUIDGE. It becomes aware of its creation and its creator and attacks her.
Yeah.
She feels a touch of guilt as she swats it away and it runs. But then Cat jumps down from nowhere and eats it. It's apparently been years since the end of the last issue.
Yeah.
Belasco lectures her for being overconfident and careless and sends her to her room. But Cat chases her with a hungry look in her eyes. She shouts for Belasco to save her, thinking that he's probably watching from a scrying mirror and laughing. And Cat corners her in the bed. At that moment, she tries to speak for the first time since her transformation 2 years ago. Illyana, Cat says, and Illyana sees some humanity in her face. Nevertheless, she throws a pillow at the cat girl and blasts her across the room with magic. Cat runs off.
The pillow is a lot less effective than the magic, I want to say. Why do the pillow if you could do the magic? It's just some feedback for...
Cat runs off and Illyana feels guilty, but she feels something else too. This magic outburst opened wide the doors of Arcana in her head. A part of her hates it, but the Elder Gods seem to have as much affection for her as they do Belasco. She's becoming super powerful.
This is written really in a really interesting way, because I don't know if we've said, Illyana narrates this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
In captions, the way that like the Wolverine miniseries was narrated, and she's not distinguishing the differences in her thought patterns here. On one panel or page, she loves Belasco and she's evil and she wants to be powerful and she wants to wield this evil magic. And in the next panel or page, she hates Belasco and she feels guilty about the things that she's done. And there's almost nothing... There's no framing device separating the two. They just sit next to each other as if they are one cohesive thought.
Right. And Claremont stops short of making her like an unreliable narrator here. It's always paired with the idea that she's in conflict and has to figure something out.
Right.
But it's still like, it is still presented as her truth. I hate this. I love this.
Exactly.
Feeling her new power, she tries to use some of the magic Aurora taught her. She creates a silver pentagram of fire and meditates in it, trying to summon an acorn like Aurora once did.
Interesting that as soon as she feels this power, she doesn't try to do Belasco magic.
Yeah, she starts channeling Storm's magic.
Yeah.
But as excitement overtakes her, the spell breaks and the acorn explodes. A moment later, Storm's astral form appears to a dispirited Illyana. Storm never forgot her, and she vows to help her, but is vague on the how and when. Illyana tells her that she started by playing the part and just pretending to be Belasco's apprentice to learn his magic and find out how to destroy him. But as time goes on, she feels his influence corrupt her more and more. Soon, it'll be too late. But Storm warns her against using the power too much. She may never come back from it.
There this is a weird little sequence, because just like in that description, they are kind of saying the same thing to each other and
Yeah.
like talking past each other, where she's like, you have to help me because I am about to become fully corrupted here. This guy has his hold on me and I got to use his magic to stop that from happening. Like, that's my only choice if you don't save me. And Aurora's like, well, just hold on and do not use his magic or you'll get completely corrupted by it. And they're both saying the same thing, but talking past each other. And I honestly can't tell if that is intentional or not.
Well, what I couldn't tell here is Illyana being sincere in what she's saying to Storm. Right? Of like, she's saying, oh, I really am only here to try to destroy Belasco. I am just innocently being corrupted, when through narration we know that she's leaning into it. She's enjoying it. She's actually struggling with the decision.
But this is like not to draw a uncomfortable parallel, but this is like the idea of grooming, right? Like the
interesting
boundary between influence and your own intention starts to blur. Like, I think Illyana herself doesn't know the answer to that. And like at points she feels as if she's being intentional.
Sure.
But at other points, she realizes, oh, that wasn't actually what I wanted. The thing that I was just saying that I wanted, now I feel shitty about because I don't want that. That's just Belasco's influence.
Yeah,
and
that was
at
influence speaking.
Different points, she can't tell the difference between the two.
Okay. So this is her more pure, innocent side coming to the surface here for it's a moment of clarity.
Right, because she just used Storm's power, and she's seeing Storm face to face, so it's giving her this moment to see the situation clearly.
All right.
But I think you're right in that it's not as if everything in front of Belasco is an act.
Yeah. There's another side of her that's not coming to the surface now that does not feel this way.
Correct. And she doesn't know. She doesn't always know anyway that is Belasco's influence. Sometimes she feels like that's her own will.
Yeah. Illyana flops back into bed, wishing she could leave. She wishes she had the power to teleport like Nightcrawler, but Belasco won't let her learn those spells. But suddenly, one of the stepping discs that appear all over Limbo appears in her bedroom. She's surprised to see it, as they don't usually appear in the Citadel, but she's frustrated that it's too high for her to reach. Suddenly, it moves to her wall. Illyana realizes that she made this happen, and not through magic, but some other internal power.
What?
As she starts panicking that Belasco will catch her, the disc moves beneath her bed and transports her to the tunnels below Limbo. She wonders if this may be her mutant power, the ability to control the stepping discs, when a car slams into her bed. The car, as it turns, it comes through a portal and just runs right into her bed. The car, as it turns out, was being driven by the New Mutants, who hop out confused as hell. Is that Illyana? Can't be. This girl is too young. But then they disappear. Illyana's like, who the fuck were they? And how did they know my name? It's so funny. We're told that we can learn about this in New Mutants number 14, which will be released after Magik number 4. So very cool that they're planting a seed here, saying like, hey, in a few months, you'll get to read about the New Mutant side of this.
Yeah.
At the same time, Rain and Sam are shocked. They're scared. They have no idea what's good. They have just these goofy, scared looks on their faces.
Yeah.
Bobby is mad. What are we doing here?
told you not to. Like it's somebody else's fault.
Yeah, and then Danny's just rolling with it. True, really captures all of them. But then she quickly summons another disc, appearing in Belasco's library. This time, she teleported exactly where she wanted. She starts walking towards Belasco's grimoire when Storm's face appears and a gust of wind shoves her through another light disc. She's now on the balcony in Belasco's throne room, but things seem different. She peers over the banister to see Belasco locked in a furious battle with a demonic-looking Storm. Storm strikes the demon lord down, only to find herself even more transformed into a demon lady. Belasco laughs, emerging from behind his throne. He can't be killed in Limbo as he is master of this realm. She just killed an innocent man that only looked like him, and now she's been fully corrupted.
Whoa.
Illyana screams, but accidentally teleports to the battlements of Belasco's citadel where Sim is waiting for her. He grabs her by the hair, but she blasts him through a light disc and he's gone. She looks over the parapets down the castle walls to see a massive hole in them. There's rain and thunder and lightning all around, and Illyana knows what's up. She rushes back in and down to the throne room to see her Aurora battling Belasco. She tries to summon a disc to teleport Storm away, but misses, and Cat cuts Aurora down from behind. Illyana grabs a torch, swinging it at the cat girl over Storm's body. Belasco orders Cat to punish Illyana. The two leap at each other in combat, and after a short tussle, Illyana snaps Cat's neck.
Jeez, yeah, it's fucking brutal.
It is.
It's the full panel. Just says snap.
Mm-hmm. And the whole time she's thinking, like through narration, she's saying, like, all right, I have to channel what Cat taught me about fighting to kill Cat.
And remember, this is after she just spent all that time with Cat. So as Cat lays dead on the floor, she says, like, my best friend is the caption.
Illyana rushes to Storm, strangely feeling no guilt over what she's done. But Storm tells her that she did what she must. Both her and Cat are off to see their loved ones in the great beyond, but Belasco thinks otherwise. He wants to display just how corrupted Illyana, his Darkchild, has become. Her amulet glows hot, burning away the shirt fabric covering it and popping open to reveal the two bloodstones. He tells Aurora that he and Illyana will summon the third and then offer Aurora's soul to the Dark Ones as a sacrifice, cursing her to eternal damnation. To be concluded.
So there's a lot here that feels like it doesn't make sense, right? Because Storm turned into a full-ass demon? We saw Storm. She's not a full-ass demon.
Actually.
And then Illyana has mutant powers? We haven't seen her do any mutant shit. Like, she's been back from Limbo. She hasn't done any mutant shit.
If she hadn't spent the whole issue talking about how she hasn't got a mutant power, but her brother does, I might not be able to understand that was her mutant power.
But yeah, I mean, these are things that do make sense in the story, but they feel as if they don't when you see them.
It takes you back to the previous issue. This is what struck me when I found out that the power, that her mutant power is controlling these glowing light discs of teleportation. In issue 2, it opens up and she is cowering in the corner while Cat fights a demon, and the floor is just littered with these discs. She goes through one, she lands in a dark room, she can't see anything, she's scared, and all of a sudden these glowing discs start appearing all over the floor.
Yeah.
This is her doing that. This is her, like, before she discovers she can control it, having that panicked reaction that most mutants have. Is it possible that that's what got her summoned to Limbo in the first place? That, like, as a toddler, she summoned a disc, and Belasco, I don't know, knew that it would happen at some point?
That is interesting because it seems as if Belasco has no idea she can do this, right?
Yeah, that's also true.
At least in the next issue, I think but
But he's got all these discs. Where are they coming from?
It is possible, I guess, like you're saying, that he didn't understand that was her mutant power, but thought that there was something special about her. Because, like, if the thing about Illyana for him is that she's just innocent, there's a million people there's a million little girls he could have snatched that didn't have superheroes for brothers.
Sure.
So it's clear that he took Illyana for a specific reason. And hey, fuck, man, that's as good as any.
Yeah, with a portal opened up right in front of her.
So the storm thing is interesting because we know she was corrupted by BELASCO, but we get the sense that she completely resisted it. But we see here, no, she completely fucked up.
Yeah. Horns grow out of her head and everything.
She became a full-ass demon and had
to work her way back from that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's the storm willpower that fucking Chris Claremont can't stop talking about.
One last note from this third issue here, Matt.
Yeah.
So many funny little demon guys in the background.
There's so many funny little demon guys.
And
these artists are having a blast drawing stupid little demon guys everywhere.
They are. They're all sorts of shapes and sizes. Some of them look like a type of animal. Some of them do not. They're just an original creation.
They're just like a little flop on the ground. They look like a pile of clothes with eyes.
Oh, this had to be a blast for each artist that touched it.
Yeah. There's more in the next issue, but man, love these little demon guys. They're less funny, I think, in the next issue, but
well, let's get to it. Let's get to the less funny ones.
Let's get to it in Magic number 4, Darkchild.
Darkchild.
Written by Chris Claremont, penciled by Sal Buscema, finished by Tom Palmer, colored by Ken Fedunowicz.
Okay.
Lettered by Tom Orzechowski, edited by Louise Jones, and chief is Junk Slopper. Release date, November 29th, 1983. Cover date, March 1984. Illyana holds a collapsed Aurora in her arms, simultaneously ridden with guilt for her friend and mentor's fate, and filled with pride at the approval her violence has earned her from BELASCO. She begs for Aurora's life, and BELASCO is happy to oblige. The plan is to conjure a third bloodstone and use that power to strip Aurora of her soul while she still lives, offering it up as a sacrifice to the Dark Ones. The prospect titillates. Illyana, you made me say titillates.
I knew as soon as I wrote the word titillates, which perfectly describes the emotion that's on display here.
I don't want to have said titillates.
I knew you were going to say.
You were going to make me say titillates.
Titillates.
But as Illyana prepares herself for the ritual, Aurora, barely alive, smiles at her with an understanding that pulls Illyana back into the light. Rather than stripping her of her soul, Illyana stabs her, ending her life entirely. BELASCO shouts in rage, but when the energy of Storm's death causes a lightning bolt to fly down from the sky, Illyana teleports out with her dead body. BELASCO swears to achieve his goals through Illyana's misery and suffering, rather than through the power he was offering her.
This is Shakespearean, his dialogue here.
Yeah.
He's ranting like a madman.
Back in the sanctum, Illyana buries Aurora in a pile of rocks, but as she reflects and mourns, a spindly arm rises from the grave as the weather suddenly turns cold and gray. Of course, Storm's magic was what kept this place safe, and with her dead, BELASCO once again has power here. She yearns internally to run back to him, beg him for forgiveness. But as she thinks this, a zombie Storm emerges from the grave and tells her that the chance for forgiveness has passed. I do want to mention for a second the storm that happens when Storm dies.
Yeah.
It happens because the reason Aurora didn't have her mutant powers anymore was that she was too old and weak for her body couldn't handle the stress of it.
Yeah, they're still fully there. Using them was taking years off her life each time.
Right. So as she's about to die, she's just like, fuck it, and summons a storm.
Yeah.
And probably also why she smiled at Illyana. Illyana runs for shelter, wondering if this is real or an illusion, only for her brother to come bashing through the wall in full steel form, trying to kill her. She summons a light disc, and suddenly she's home. She's back on the family farm. Only starting to get a grasp on this new power. She never realized she could just return to normal Earth. She runs to the farmhouse shouting for her parents, only for them to greet her as a stranger. Their daughter Illyana left only recently as a baby. This is a young woman standing before them. Who is this weirdo standing in a fur leotard claiming to be their daughter? They tell her she's unwell and slam the door in her face. She falls to her knees in tears, but only has a moment to be upset. Before she's confronted by a full zombie X-Men team, she faints and wakes back up in Limbo. Restrained by zombie Colossus at BELASCO's instruction, he tortures her as he starts transforming her with his magic, chastising her, letting her know this could have been as pleasurable as it is now painful. Her eyes start to glaze over as she yearns to both fight the demonic embrace inside her and to fully embrace it. When it's all over, a third bloodstone has appeared on her medallion. We're reminded again that once it has 5 bloodstones, the Eldritch Gate will open and release BELASCO's dark gods into the plane of regular Earth. Couple things.
Yeah. What is it that conjures a bloodstone?
Yeah. Yes. Fucking exactly. All right.
For sure, I thought it was going to be sacrificing Aurora's soul. That's
Same.
what they were preparing for. But then he said, actually, we need you to get the third bloodstone so you have the power to sacrifice her soul.
Aurora's soul.
And then she kills Aurora anyway, runs away, and then however long later comes back.
So
let's just pull another one out of her.
Let's look at them.
Sure.
First, the first one was taken when she was unconscious, when she was a little baby girl, when she was 6 years old, right? Almost as soon as she gets to Limbo. She was unconscious. Right. He pulled her soul out of her body, grew it to adulthood, corrupted it, turned it into a green ball, crushed it into a little marble.
Right. Symbolically, that's her childhood innocence.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Destroyed and placed as a bloodstone.
Absolutely. All right. Second, when Illyana freely gives it to BELASCO with her own blood.
Right. Which is, again, symbolizing like her
corruption.
Symbolizing her corruption, sort of the end of that phase of her life.
I would say if we want to distinguish the two, what we could say is that the first one was the end of her innocence, the end of her childhood. And we could call the second one the end of her like goodness, her transformation from good to evil.
Almost like becoming an adult, I think, is the parallel I'm trying to draw here, of being able to make her own decisions.
And then making her first really bad one.
Yeah.
So first one, she's become an adult. Second one, she's done something evil. Third is taken from her against her will.
Right.
While she's conscious, by just smacking her around a little bit.
Maybe it's like a being at rock bottom thing. Because she just returned home.
Like stealing all hope from her. He's taken the last of her hope.
Sure. Also, the process visually is smoke starts pouring out of her eyes and forms in the face of a demon.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe like tears, like sorrow turning into anxiety. That could kind of be like losing hope.
There's there's a metaphor here.
Yeah. There's some metaphor here, but we're not totally grasping. But it seems almost as if he can just do this whenever he wants. And if that's the case, but we know he can't because he would just do all 5 at once, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. Oh, second thing, the scratch on the face motif appears again. So we've seen it.
Yes.
Where are all the places we've seen it so far?
We see it at first in issue 1.
When Kat appears.
We see it the second time in issue 2.
When Kat appears, she cuts BELASCO's face. Right after the first bloodstone was summoned. Next, we see it in issue 2 when Kat is training Illyana.
Yeah.
And slashes her across the face. And then a little bit later when Illyana slashes Kat across the face.
And Kat just phases out of it so she doesn't actually get the nick.
Right. And all of these are on these. There must be a symbol here because they're all on a person's right cheek. They're all in the exact same spot.
Right.
Next, we see it in issue 3 when SQUIDGE scratches Illyana across the right cheek.
Right.
And Belasco's like, I should leave that there
as a lesson
for your
careless use of magic.
Next. And is this the last time? Is there a time?
He also moments later, when Illyana is scared that Cat is hunting her in her cat form, Belasco references the fact that she could re-scar her cheek.
Right. And then here, he rakes her across the cheek with his claws in pretty much the exact same way. There's something here, man.
Maybe it'll come up in Illyana. Does she continue to have scars on her face in the future?
Nope. Not that I know of. And later she fights, just spoiler alert, she fights Belasco with a sword and doesn't scratch his cheek. So I don't know it's like, if there's a metaphor here, maybe it's just like when people keep getting creased by bullets. Maybe it's just a thing that Claremont keeps doing, and he like almost has no idea that he's doing it over and over.
It's very Zorro.
Belasco tears the amulet from around her neck and banishes her to wander limbo, constantly suffering and fighting demonic beasts, but never dying. When the time comes, Belasco will summon her back to serve at his side. Eventually, she'll come crawling back, and he may be able to forgive her.
I pray.
Illyana suddenly finds herself back in the location of Aurora's old sanctum, but it's been destroyed and a blizzard has fallen upon it. A fierce wind picks her up and drives her straight into Aurora's tree, still standing, despite all the destruction. Aurora created this from an acorn, a pure spell of life and creation, rendering it immune to Belasco's corruption. As she takes shelter in the tree, she starts to feel the magical life force that inhabits it and taps into that energy to summon magic, channeling the lessons that Storm taught her and fighting against the powerful darkness that Belasco has placed inside of her. She forms an acorn, but once again, it's corrupted inside and bursts into a splatter of dark energy. She does this again and again, drawing magic from the tree as days pass. The tree, finally sapped of all its energy, dies and turns to dust.
Here's how I know I'm invested. I'm really enjoying this. When that tree died, I was like, no.
Right.
Not the tree.
Not Illyana's last tether to goodness and warmth.
Yeah.
Illyana rages, bordering on madness, before she has a revelation. Aurora created life, because that's who she was, a creator sworn to uphold life. She wielded life like a weapon, and this tree was a representation of that. But Illyana's not Storm. She's driven by vengeance, searching for life as a means to end her own torment, and still torn by her corrupted side. Instead of a metaphorical weapon, maybe a literal weapon is more sustainable for her. She uses the remaining strength in her from the tree, channeling the magic she learned from Aurora, and conjures a long, beaming blade and kicks herself for not thinking of it sooner. She summons a light disc and prepares to meet her destiny. It's the Soul Sword, Pat!
The Soul Sword is here.
The Soul Sword is here, and it looks nothing like it eventually will, but yeah.
No, but it's so cool. And it's very earned, too.
Yeah.
It feels like this was such a smart way to come about.
Yeah, she's been through all of this to, like, it draws upon everything from the past few issues.
Yeah.
To
and also
make it extant.
It also draws from Storm's, like, just general character. I love the idea of her not being able to create an acorn, because that's unique to Storm and her reverence for life and nature.
Right.
So cool.
Cut to Belasco's citadel, where he plots his next steps for escaping Limbo that somehow involve revenge on Khazar and his slut, Shayna the She-Devil.
This was wild.
Just a sudden, harsh cut.
Because he's going on in his, like, old-timey madman language. I will be free of this accursed prison. How ironic that those who caused my downfall, the jungle man Khazar and some slut. Like, what are you?
He calls Storm a harlot in the previous issue, but that, like, fits his cadence.
That fit. Yeah, for him
Yeah.
just to be like the slut Shanna the she-devil.
Also,
what kind of weird scumbag is this?
this is such a harsh tone shift, because it's like, we're reading this beautifully symbolic story of a girl coming of age, and she's struggling with the choices between good and evil, and the loss of her own innocence, the triumph of her will over this anxiety of how scary it is to become an adult, represented by these forces of good and evil that are literally warring in front of her and pulling her to either side.
Right.
And suddenly there's an interlude about an Atlantean android named Dirk.
Dherk.
Just, it's just like all of his in the middle of like a fucking Hemingway
Pride
novel.
and Prejudice. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All of a sudden it's just like, and then a UFO crashed into the mountain, and the aliens came out and they pissed on me. Then they left. Anyway, back to this story of no time for that now. This Khazar nonsense. As Illyana bursts in with her crackling sword, laying waste to his office.
She just starts breaking shit. It's so cool.
I always wanted to smash this desk. He attacks her with a mystic bolt, but her sword absorbs it. He tries to use his superior strength and height to beat her in a duel, but she's mastered her light discs and teleports around him with ease. Finding it a waste of time, Belasco summons Sim in to finish the job, but Illyana swiftly slices through his stomach, claiming vengeance for her brother. He falls to the ground dead, and Illyana sees a look of fear cross Belasco's face for the first time.
Ooh.
I don't think he's dead.
Sim's not dead?
You always pronounce the apostrophe.
Yeah, it's S''YM.
No, Sim's not dead. I hate to tell you.
Oh. That's strange, because he was created as a joke character. Strange that he even reappears here.
And yet, he becomes a big part of the Marvel Universe for 100 years.
This is Darkhawk all over again.
So next, she goes for the desk he's hiding behind, Belasco, shattering it and destroying all the tomes upon it. He cries out in anguish. She just destroyed eons of mystical knowledge. But little does he know that she's already absorbed the knowledge in these books, secretly reading through his full library over the years.
Ooh.
Suddenly, in gleeful rage, her skin starts to turn red as she forms horns and fangs, and her eyes turn yellow. Simultaneously, Belasco's horns disappear, and his skin turns white.
He's just some dude.
Yeah.
He looks like Harry Osborn. He's like a random skinny dude wearing a demon's clothes now.
Like it's the metaphor here, I guess, is like the evil. This is the thing with abusers and the abused, right? Like he taught her to be this.
Yeah.
By abusing her, and of course, eventually she's gonna become that and be able to use it right back on him, right?
Strike me down and I shall become more powerful than you can imagine.
She dares him to call upon his elder gods, knowing that they favor her over him now. She knocks him to the ground and holds him there while she raises her sword over her head with both hands, prompting her to wonder how she's holding Belasco to the ground. She looks down at herself and sees that she's grown a tail that's restraining him, and notices the horns. She's become just like him. The voices inside her ask, "Who cares? Kill him." But she remembers Aurora's experience in the same situation. Did these same voices call to her? Did she lose because she gave in, breaking her vows? Illyana slowly lowers her sword. As her horns and tails start to retract, the voices grow silent. Belasco yells, calling her a fool for renouncing her heritage. But she didn't, she explained. She embraced it. The price of absolute power was too high. She's beaten Belasco and further damned him to his prison, taking the power he was given. That's all she needs. She's won. Belasco calls her a coward and tosses the Bloodstone medallion at her feet as a constant reminder of her evil deeds before conjuring a teleportation spell out of there.
I am out of here.
Hey,
Here's your damn necklace.
I'm not taking this for one more sec. You won't have old Belasco to kick around anymore, little girl. So this is a trope that you see in stories a lot. This no, I'm not going I'm not going to be like you, right?
Yeah.
In this instance, it's earned because, like she says, she beat his whole ass. Like, she won here.
Yeah. She's like, hey, I don't need to kill you because the goal here was to beat you, and I've already done that.
The goal is to take your power, leave you stranded in limbo forever, and be free of you. And I've done all of that. And so, like, almost like, it's not just like, oh, well, killing you would make me just like you. It's, well, killing you is like superfluous. You are already going to suffer forever.
Yeah. It's also very cool. Maybe it's corny in retrospect, but like just reading through it, it was so cool for her to have both hands raised above her head, sword ready to come down on Belasco, and then thinking to herself, like, wait, how am I restraining him if both of my hands are above my head right now? And realizing she has a tail. It's it's a like clever way for her to come to that realization.
Like such a mundane way.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Illyana stands back at Belasco's altar, reflecting on her journey. She's not sure she's solved the conflict within her, and she's not sure she needs to. Either way, it's time to return home. She summons a light disc, and suddenly we're back on real Earth, watching Kitty regain her grasp on Illyana's hand and pull her back through to their side, only seconds after losing it.
Wolverine with his shirt on, of course.
This all happened a year ago, Illyana explains, as she looks out at the sunset from the grounds of the Xavier Mansion. This is her home now, one that she feels welcome in. But she can't forget or deny how she got here. She reflects on the people sacrificed for her to reach this point and promises to live up to their legacy. As she walks back to the mansion, she sees the new mutants outside, goofing around and being teens. Maybe, as a teen herself now, she can find that same kind of joy. Maybe as much as this is an ending, it can also be a beginning. It's funny how, like, this is very effective and affecting, yet it's also like, well, I guess you can see me in New Mutants from here on out.
Yeah. It leaves her as, like, a dangerous person, but at the same time, she's off to join a snowball fight.
I know, right? As she was standing here telling this story, like, it wasn't snowing at the beginning of this. Yeah. And everything's covered in snow, and she's still standing in the same place at the edge of the cliff. Yeah, this story, it feels to me like the most symbolic that Claremont has told thus far.
Yeah, it's like very much a one-to-one allegory, more so maybe even than God Loves Man Kills.
Right. This is just a story about growing up and the trauma you encounter, how scary it is to grow up, how scary it is to start having to make decisions, and decisions about not just like what to do, but who you'll be. And this way that Illyana comes to this like conclusion that, like, rather than trying to fight to continue to be the innocent little girl or mirroring the behavior of the shitty adults around me, I can learn from both and become a new thing, which I think is something that all of us kind of go through to varying degrees, but what she goes through, it's like super literally here.
It's crazy how well Claremont remembers the experience of being a teenager.
Right.
Because reading through like this or some of the Kitty stories, I remember things that I didn't remember about being a teenager. And just like, oh yeah, it did feel that way. And that was awful. Or that was extremely confusing. Like he's got a good grasp on it as a full adult here.
I think in the future we're going to see a kind of a flattened out Ilya. Like, I love her as a character, and I think she gets worse and then better as a character.
Okay.
But for a bit, I think we see this whole experience flattened out to oh, Illyana's secretly evil, or she's
Oh,
hiding that
interesting.
she's evil from everybody. And then it's this thing of like, what do you mean by evil? Like, she's not
Yeah,
hurting people.
it's
She's not
so
killing
much more
people.
complex than
She's got a thing inside her called evil. Like that. Then again, she does get written by Louise Simonson, who puts a lot of religious stuff in her books. But
we'll get there.
We'll get there. At this point, it takes this like little background character and makes her into one of the coolest characters in the Marvel universe, just in 4 issues, and that's super impressive.
I had to put myself into, or try to put myself into the position of someone that has no idea who Magik is, right?
Yeah.
Just watching somebody who exactly has been a background character, the little sister of a main character that at first we saw, you just assume that there's some future with her, right? That she's eventually going to become an X-Man. But then she goes through this ordeal. We don't touch it again for a year, except for the occasional offhand mention. And suddenly she is this deep, complex, mystically complicated character that's also a mutant. She's the same age, like clearly she's going to go join the New Mutants. This had to be mind-blowing, right? To see this extremely minor character suddenly become, I don't know. I don't know what I expected from this, but it was not this sort of internal conflict.
And how do you put this down and not just go, I need to fucking see more Illyana Rasputin? You don't even know her name's Magik. Right?
Yeah.
I need to see more Illyana Rasputin immediately, right?
I had not low expectations. It's just coming into this, we're in such a good place in X-Men. New Mutants are finally starting to get good. We take this little detour for a mini series that's going to be about like magic use and the wizard version of Storm. You and I both talked about it at the top of the episode. That's not our bag. We're not here for mystical fantasy land stuff. And then this was just so tightly written. The art was so interesting and engaging that this rockets to the top of my X-Men story arcs. This is so good.
Do you think is your number 1?
No, not my number 1.
But I think weirdly Brood Saga I think is my number 1 now. Like that was
I'm on the same page with you. That is the most undervalued X-Men story arc for sure.
Yeah, even undervalued by me too. I didn't realize how good Brood Saga was until we reread it.
Yeah, you dick.
This has this is way up there. And I can't next episode we're going to see more Illyana. I'm excited. I think we'll finally see the name Magik used rather than just in the title. Exciting shit.
Do we see another shirtless Wolverine next episode?
Oh, fucking one can only hope, my dude.
He's got an eye out, stuff that you could buy out. If you had a time machine that you would like to try out, it's Pat Steals and
Ooh, Matt, it's time for Pat Steals and Deals, but
my
would
wallet
you believe
can't handle it, Pat. Please don't send me to eBay buying another piece of shit thing that I'm gonna wear on my friggin' head.
Well, I suppose you could technically wear this on your head. Listen, you know my deal. I have spent my vast fortune collecting every issue of X-Men and every appearance of X-Men in existence, but when it's off the main X-Men title, sometimes those ads are corrupted by a very dark and powerful force.
Yeah.
And I dare not read them for fear of corrupting myself. So
you just flip by them real quick.
Exactly. Yeah. I cover them up as I'm reading the page, and then I flip it really quick and cover the other page just in case there's an ad there. I miss huge chunks of the story doing it, but the
good thing we
podcast
recap them here.
Together. Yeah. That happened here with this Magik Storm and Illyana
I'm
miniseries.
sorry, dude.
I couldn't read the ads. I didn't want to become evil. So I've taken one from around the same time. This appears to be near Christmas time, 1983. So not too far from the miniseries we just read through. $1 million Christmas rebate spectacular on the Garcia Kingfisher 43 spinning reel. Ask your dad to help you choose the Garcia spinning or spin cast model that's just right for you. This is a fishing pole, Matt. Garcia, 21 Law Drive, Fairfield, New Jersey, 07006.
Wait. Okay, hold on. $1 million Christmas rebate spectacular.
Yeah. Go ahead, ask me a question about it, Matt. Ask me a question about that rebate.
All right, Pat. How much is the rebate?
I don't know, Matt. See your dealer for details.
Okay. Or you could just zoom in on the image, and it tells you right there on the spinning combo Garcia Kingfisher 43 spinning.
$3.99 rebate.
It's a $3.99 rebate. It's a $3.99 rebate.
So you're making $4 there already, right? Now,
okay.
If I read this copy to you alone,
okay,
would you buy this fishing pole?
No, I don't fish.
Now, what if I told you that this copy was on a full-page comic book ad? Feature a full-page comic book ad.
Okay.
Is fishing unethical?
Yeah.
MutantMenacePod@gmail.com.
It's like it's as unethical as hunting. Okay, go ahead.
But copy alone, I agree with you. I wouldn't just go out and buy a fishing pole because of this. But what if I told you it was a full-page comic book ad featuring Spider-Man handing you the fishing pole while Santa Claus stands in the background with a fistful of cash?
Are you asking if that would make me want it more?
Yes.
That Santa Claus is greedily grubbing all over my money?
No. Matt, he's shaking a fistful of cash at you.
Oh, he's like, I'll give you $3.99 of this fistful of cash.
If you send in your rebate certificate.
Make sure you send in your rebate certificate. Make sure you send it by the due date. Make sure you send it with the right amount of postage. Make sure you send it with the correct receipt.
And also, Spider-Man is handing it to you.
All right. Would I pay some amount of money?
Clearly more than $3.99.
With a $3.99 rebate to have Spider-Man hand me a fishing pole while I meet Santa Claus and he takes my money.
And he shakes a fistful of cash at you.
I mean, there is an amount of money I would pay to meet actual Spider-Man and actual Santa Claus. And
yeah, sure.
I just throw the fishing pole away.
Okay. Done. Steal and deal.
He's got an eye out, stuff that you could buy out. If you had a time machine that you would like to try out, it's at Deals and Steal.
Oh, Pat. We've come to the end of this episode of Mutant Menace. I'm so sorry. But we'll be back next week.
It's only midnight.
We'll be back next week like we are every week. And in the meantime, you can do some shit.
Yeah.
First of all, if you want more of us, subscribe to our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Mutant Menace. We've got oodles of bonus content already.
So much in the chamber, too.
Yeah, we've got, you'll get outtakes, you'll get Puffy Faffin with Matt and Pat, our bonus.
Our new podcast that we just started.
Our new podcast, our mini-sode podcast. It's like short little episodes of us just bullshitting around, like literally 5 to 15 minute long episodes.
Bonus episodes a week early. You just got the if you're already subscribed, you just got our X-Men Teen Titans episode a week before everybody else. And
you will get, if you sign up for free, you'll get our reading list, so you'll know what we're doing before we get there. You could also, if you don't want to contribute monetarily, or just on Patreon, because again, there's a free tier. If you don't want to contribute that way, you can always just rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, wherever, and share the show with a friend. Or
tell somebody about
your-
us. Tell somebody about your friends Matt and Pat.
just tell anybody. Tell a stranger on the sidewalk.
Don't be
I don't
ashamed.
fucking care. And you can find us on Instagram at Mutant Menace Pod. There's bespoke artwork for every episode.
That's right. Little video clips.
And sometimes little video clips.
Huge thanks, as always, to Krills Wilson for all the music on the show, as well as to Julia Selly for providing the voice of Trish Tilby.
And that leaves only one thing, Patrick.
Her famous catchphrase.
As always, naughty, naughty, cutie honey.
That's right, folks. And always remember, stop talking nonsense and go home to your real parents.